You are live. Scano, good evening.
As we come together around this beautiful medicine of this grandmother drum, we open our hearts to the voices of the grandmothers as they come forward today in this time, in this most auspicious time in our human evolving, our human growing into the greater expansion of all that we are. We come together around this grandmother drum to offer our hearts and to listen to the voices of the grandmothers as they speak and lead us and guide us into our future, the vision that we've been holding, the prophecies that have been held, the women who are coming forward in this time, supported by the grandmothers, the voices of the grandmothers to lead us today. We gather here in the presence of Creator, the divine, all-knowing, all-loving, blessed for this moment that we come together in this beautiful sacred space, our hearts united as one in this place together. And so I'm so grateful that we are here and that we are honoring all of life, all of our human family, our relatives, all of the suffering and the pain of our relatives, that we are here, and we are here to embrace within our own hearts as we call forth for healing of our nation, for healing of our world. And we are so grateful for this time together and for the voices that are being spoken into this moment right now. And so it is, and so it will be. Aho.
Scano, good evening. Thank you so much for that beautiful song and the prayers. Thank you for showing up here at Grandmother's Voice platform. This is a platform that the grandmothers began in COVID when they said we must reach the people. We need to reach the people, and how will we do that? And so for the last 5 years, we've been building relationships and connections. And this series will be 52 weeks of voices from our grandmothers and grandfathers from across this beautiful earth. And we're really honored to be hosting this circle. And the grandmothers said that, as earth walkers, it's our duty to do whatever we can in our power to lift the voices of the grandmothers who've been preserving this wisdom for this time right now for us to listen. And so we invite you to copy and paste the links that I'll be sharing in the back end through our Facebook lives. Through the link here, we'll be looking at comments, and we'll be sharing near the end some of the comments and questions that may be here. But please continue to leave your messages of love in these in the chat boxes, and please copy and paste this live everywhere that you can, so that people can watch us together. Nyawa, we'll see you later.
Nyawa. Thank you, Jody. Thank you, everybody. That's beautiful. Beautiful way to begin. I want to thank Pookie Lee for being here. She drove 3.5 hours to bring the grandmother drum home for this song for you all, so that we could begin this series here. And thanks to Jody for giving us the platform where we can do that. I want to introduce Courtney, who came with her. Courtney lives up in Peru, near, where is it again that you live? Near
the Sacred
Cusco.
Valley.
Yeah. So she's here today too to help and support us. And the first thing that we're going to do before I introduce the grandmothers that are speaking today is that I asked Amanda if it would be all right if we begin with the trailer from the Genetic River, because this is really powerful. And it was created by her husband, Janice Rose, who's from Latvia. And he was just an amazing man. He's 99 years old this year. And he's one of my major, most beautiful men. I met him at the United Nations when he came up and introduced himself to me as a grandmother. And he totally blew my mind. So he's got this series, and I encourage everybody to go to YouTube and watch the rest. But this is the trailer. And this is really, to me, what says it all for all of us. So we'll go ahead and watch that now.
Yeah. She's supposed to take us up.
Can you
I guess we just do it anyway.
Everything that exists on the earth, the most improbable and the most intriguing phenomenon is human being. 7 billion humans today living on earth. We are forming a magnificent piece, a masterpiece of my own life. And all of them together form a masterpiece of humanity. There has been a long genetic river that has flown on the earth. What is its nature? What is its purpose? What has been our destiny? Where do we come from? Do we know everything that happened with us? Maybe there were some other reasons of our existence. Maybe we came from other stars. We are going to explore everything that this magnificent genetic river has done and discover the meaning of us humans on Earth. If we for a moment could stop our daily life and look around at the faces that we are so used, so accustomed, we would discover that actually we have every one of the faces that surround us are different. It is different as much as we can find them on the streets, in the restaurants, in railroad stations, all over the place. And if we can take ourselves out a little bit of the traditional living of customs that we are used to and be in place like this maybe, then we would realize there are 6 billion people on the earth that are actually living and expressing the human nature, expressing the human consciousness. Each one of them is carrying what humanity is all about. And now we are beginning to wonder, what is my great genetic river that has flown before me? When we are talking about inheritance, there is a tradition and belief to think that it is the blood that transfers the characteristics from generation to generation. He has my blood, she has grandfather's blood. It is not the blood that transfers the inheritance, it's the DNA. The blood does not have the capacity to do it. We know biologically that we are a vertebrate that has red blood cells without the nucleus that carries DNA. It is a DNA that has that particular task, the molecule that transfers the characteristics from generation to generation.
So, what's so beautiful to me about that genetic river is that as we watch it, we realize there is no division. There's no division between us as family because we're connected through our DNA, just like we're connected to the mother and to the waters and the trees and all the animals. We're all connected. We're all one. Only we've forgotten. But the whole reason that we're here, I believe, is to find our way back to that understanding. So as we go through what's happening in the world around us, I don't know if everybody feels like I did, but at 76, I was really feeling frustrated because I wanted to be with Betty at the Alligator Alcatraz, and I wanted to be with Laura Sy in Auschwitz, and there were so many places that I wanted to be, but I'm limited now in where I can actually go. And I was thinking, how can we do something to change this? Because we know what we're doing. We know we have a calling. Those of us that are watching this realize that we're not just, this is just not for fun. We have work to do. So as we come together on these calls every Monday night for the next 52 weeks, counting tonight, we are going to be affecting the collective. Wayne Dwyer said that for every one high vibrational person, we can affect 750,000 in the collective who are not yet awake. By our prayers, by our teachings, by our songs, that something inside of us is going to awaken them because we're actually in them just like they're in us. So with that part said in the introduction, I want to introduce quickly the grandmother Crystal. And she's been with us over the years. As Gail knows, she's been in some wild places because she's with us. And that's why she wanted to be here tonight, because Grandmother Gail is on with us. And so Grandmother Gail will be working with me as a partner as we're going through this next year. Sometimes she'll be doing what I'm doing tonight. Sometimes it'll be my job. But I just want to give her a couple of minutes just to introduce herself and let us know who she is.
Hello, everyone. I'm Gail Whitlow. I'm from Six Nations of the Grand River here in Southern Ontario, Canada. I'm from the Mohawk Nation and the Bear Clan. I have 5 children and 20 grandchildren. And me and Susan have been doing some awesome and amazing things over the years. And I think our the greatest thing we've done is to follow the lead of our ancestors, men who are in our people who are in the spirit world now, when they gave us duties and responsibilities, and they left quietly to the spirit world, and so we had to figure it out because we never get direct, messages. Yeah, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's like, here you go, it's your turn, and so we had to figure it out, and so we started traveling the world, and through this. There has been such beautiful things that have happened, and that's what we really need to remember is the beauty that we all hold, and it's that beauty that's going to take us into the next generations with our children and our 7 generations later, because we have that responsibility to take care of those 7 generations and to make sure that they have a place here on this beautiful planet. And beauty is everywhere, and I think that's what we need to show. We also need to listen to what is happening so that we can help to heal, and we can help. We have to get together as one, and then we have to start to figure it out. What is it that we need to do? What is our calling? And then we have to remember that that's our duty and our responsibility. So our duty and responsibility, both with grandmother's circle the earth, and as well as grandmother's voice, is to carry on and to think ahead. And that's what's going to take all of us into a beautiful realm. And we can't do it alone. The thing is, we need everyone to be as one in order for us to find that planetary as well as universal healing that is required as we go through these challenges that we're facing right now. So I hope over the next 52 weeks, you get a chance to hear, and whatever you feel drawn to, please, let's work together and let's figure it out, and let's pray, and let's get it together for the work that we're called here to do, because it's not just work. It's not just words that we're trying to get across. It's like, what is the action that is going to have the most benefit for us as humans, as well as all that is included in that we are one. We are one aspect that we're trying to feed. So welcome to our beautiful speakers that we're going to have tonight, and listen closely. They have very important messages to share, and it's my honor to know that they speak from their heart. They speak the truth. So Nyawagoa.
Yeah.
See you next week.
Thank you so much, Gail. That was beautiful. I do want to just put this one little piece in about Gail. And I, as she said, we've been all over the world, and sometimes we travel together, sometimes separately. And there was one time I'd been to 3 or 4 countries, and I called her up and I said, that's it. I am so done. I am never doing this anymore. That was the hardest thing I ever had to do in my life. You take it. I'm finished. I'm out of here. She went out, she got in her truck, and she drove 11 hours to my house. She got out of her truck. She didn't even knock on the door. She walked in and she said, get in the truck. She took me to the river. She made me sit on the sand while she sat on a log behind me. And she said, tell me what happened. And so as I told her the story, she went through my hair with her fingers. And every time she would come to a knot and let it loose, some of that pain would leave me. Some of that frustration would go away. And that's a beautiful healing. Gail is a major healer. And I'm honored, Gail, to have you here with us, just so you know that. And she straightened me right out, and I went back out again. So that's what she's saying is absolutely true. We need each other. We do, because we're family. We are together. So with that, thank you. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to introduce our Amanda next. And Amanda Bernal, she is my sister. She calls me her problem. I'm going to tell you that. She calls me her problem. She is so amazing. She got her PhD from Columbia University. She's from Bogota. She is a teacher in Manhattan, a college professor, and the wife of Janice Rose. And I have learned so much from being with her. She's the president of the Great Balance, which is a phenomenal organization. And I don't know if she's going to talk about it, but look it up. The Great Balance, there's no other organization like that. And she's here tonight with a letter from the mamos. And I'd like to share with you that a few months ago, we were on a call and they called down to Amanda, and then she calls out and translates from New York. But she was talking with them, and they asked, have you abandoned your dream? So just think about that for a minute. Have you abandoned your dream? And then Duarico said, because if you have, it is the greatest sin that you will ever commit against yourself. So what is our dream? What is our purpose? And as we reach into that space and connect with that, that's when we awaken. And not only do we awaken, but that gives us the ability to awaken others. So I'm going to turn the time now over to my sister, Amanda Renau Carl.
Thank you, Susan, for the wonderful introduction. And yes, I am from Colombia. I work with the mamos. The picture that you can see behind me is the gathering of the mamos praying for humanity. They call everybody when there is a trouble in the world outside the Sierra, and they said we need to heal the younger brothers. We are the younger brothers. They are the elder brothers. And I have been in several of these gatherings, very moving, because they are praying for every sin, every suffering that humanity is going through and nature is going through because the way that we are mistreating each other. And this is a wonderful, wonderful way to learn that we are only one, that what happens to one person occurs to the entire humanity. And, I teach also evolution. And I want to give a little lesson about evolution, if you forgive me for this. But in evolution, the main concept that we want to leave to our students is evolution is a very dramatic change that occurs at the level of the entire species, the entire group that shares the same DNA, as Janos mentioned. The human beings are just only one species. And for evolution to happen, the environment has to change first. If the environment doesn't change, there is no evolution. And when that change occurs, it has to be a dramatic change, so dramatic that it's threatening the survival of every single individual on that species. Think for the moment, something that happened to humanity a few years ago, COVID. There was no way to escape from COVID. It was affecting every human being. And the main lesson on my eyes that COVID left us was that we have to care for the well-being of the other. If my neighbor is well, I am well. Well, this is exactly what is the background also that I am learning with the mamos. They don't go to school, but they learn the same lesson. We are just only one species, and at this time, we are the species that is in danger because our environment is changing. All these crises that we are going through is a crisis that is an invitation for changing, and that change has to do with the adaptation to the new environment. If there is no such an adaptation, there is no guarantee that we can survive. And well, it's up to each of us. You don't have to go out and save others. You have to save yourself in order for this evolution to take place. And the other thing that I want to let you know is when I started writing this letter, I asked the help of the mamos. But, we start in the middle of everything, in the middle of the process. Suddenly the rain came, and they don't have the cell phones that we have. These iPhones, with all this technology, they have the old-fashioned cell phones, and they have to walk long distances to places where they can get the communication, they can get signal. So in a given moment, I decided to finish the letter by myself, and I sent it to my sister Susan. And I mentioned later on to the mamos, I finished the letter, but I am not so sure that you are going to endorse it. But when I did as an act of meditation. I sit myself in one of the caducos. This is a caduco, this is a temple, the sacred site when they received the divination. And the mama said, we don't want to change anything. The letter is perfect. It's exactly what we need to send to the world. So this is the letter that I am going to read today. And again, most of the letter, let's say 60% or 70% came from me, but it has the blessing of the mamas. They didn't want to change anything, even that it was still time to change it. So I am going to read it. And here is the message that they sent to us today. The letter says, Dear fellow citizens of the world, we, the elders of the original communities of the world, write to you with a heart full of sorrow, yet still a light, we hope. We are living in difficult times across our Mother Earth, as the cries of women, children, and families echo from destroyed cities. Mothers cling to their children in fear, and elders weep for a world that is slipping away. Through the destruction from Ukraine to Gaza, from Israel and Palestine to the heartlands of the United States, humanity is being tested as never before. The pain endured by immigrants, refugees, and civilians of every age and generation is a stark reminder that our world is in desperate need of compassion and unity. No child should ever be awakened by the sound of bombs or be forced to flee the warmth and safety of home. No mother should face the impossible choice between dignity and survival. No immigrants should be treated as a criminal, and no elder should be left to mourn the loneliness and despair. Yet every day, the rights and dreams of the most vulnerable are trampled underfoot by violence, hatred, discrimination, and indifference. We must not turn our gaze away. The responsibility of nobody is our own responsibility. The suffering of any of us is the suffering of all, for the sacred thread of our shared humanity binds us together. Albert Einstein said, the world will not be destroyed by those who do evil, but by those who watch and do nothing. Our silence, our numbness is in itself a form of complicity. The suffering in Ukraine, the devastation in Gaza and Israel, the plight of refugees and immigrants, the suffering in places like the so-called alligator Alcatraz, these are not distant tragedies. These are violations happening in our own backyard. They are wounds in the fabric of our collective soul. The creation of Florida's Alligator Alcatraz Detention Center, situated deep within the sacred Everglades, stands as a green metaphor for the ways in which we have transgressed against Mother Earth and the dignity of humanity. The Everglades, once a sanctuary of wild beauty and a sacred place for the indigenous people who live there, has become a fortress of isolation and pain. The legend of the alligator, an ancient being of wisdom and resilience, now forced into the unnatural world and the unnatural role of prison guard, mirrors the long history of our exploitation and imprisonment of both nature and one another. To invoke the image of the alligator Alcatraz is to confront the uncomfortable truth of our offenses, the violation of the planet's sanctity, the trampling of human rights, and the disregard for the inherent worth of every living being. By caging our fellow humans and enlisting alligators as their wardens, we have not only inflicted suffering upon themselves, but also severed our connection to the spirit of the earth and our responsibility to honor all life. The alligator, a symbol of primordial wisdom, becomes a victim of our arrogance, just as the prisoners become victims of a society that too often chooses punishment over compassion. According to the mamos, the spiritual priests of the indigenous people of the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, Colombia, the heart of the world, we are violating the most sacred law of the planet and the universe, the law of origin. This law refers to reverence for life, harmony with the divine source, the cosmos, and our own inner selves. Mamos proclaim that compassion and gratitude are strongly connected to that law of origin. The law of origin brings respect, peace, balance, and unconditional love toward each other and to our nature. This legacy is an affront of Mother Earth, whose ecosystems we disrupt, and to human dignity, which we undermine through systems of exclusion and control based on beliefs, skin color, and physical appearance. It is a call to reflect on our actions and to seek a path of restoration, one that honors the wild, respects of life, and upholds the values of empathy and justice. The Alligator Alcatraz Center is a chilling echo of the ghettos and concentration camps during the past, a stark reminder of our depths to which we can fall when we lose sight of our shared humanity. Let's remember the lessons of history and work together to heal the wounds we have inflicted upon our planet, upon each other, and upon ourselves. Let's remember, too, our responsibility of nature, whose silent suffering mirrors our own. The destruction of homes is reflected in the destruction of forests, rivers, and the very earth that sustains us, and wanting each other, and we want the world that we share. We, the mamos, call upon leaders, communities, and every individual soul to choose compassion, demand peace, stand up for the rights of children, mothers, elders, and all who are vulnerable. Open your hearts to refugees, to those whose voices are silent, to those who are unseen. Protect not only one another, but also the natural world. This precious, irreplaceable speck in the vastness of the cosmos, our only home. Only together, guided by compassion, can we build a world worthy for our children's dreams and those of generations yet unborn. We hope an unwavering solidarity, the mamos of the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, the elder brothers. Thank you.
Reminding us of what it is that we're here to do and why. So thank you for that. And I'm grateful that all of this is being recorded so that you can listen to it again and again. And I invite you to do that. Now we're going to move on to Betty. And as I said in the beginning, this was inspired. This whole 52-week broadcast to me was inspired by Betty because I wanted to be with her so badly. And I couldn't go. I couldn't go there. So I wrote to her. I was told that she was the one that was the mother tree for this that is happening down there in Alligator Alcatraz. And so I was also told that I might have a really hard time getting a response from her because she's so busy. And people said she doesn't always get back to you. And I took that chance, and she texted me right back. So I'm going to share that quickly, and then I'm going to pass the feather on to Betty to take over. But I just want to share this because it was so absolutely profound to me. When I asked her about what I could do to help her, I said, I wish there was something that I could do, anything. She said, I have been asking for the people of the red clay to put up ceremony however they know how. I do feel we keepers of Mother Earth need to come together in collective prayer. She is calling out for us to hear her and spread her urgency. There is a decision she will make, and that decision depends on us. That's what she is telling me. She needs to know we are still here. We are the roots that hold the earth together. Betty, these words inspired what we're doing now for the next 52 weeks. And I want to say thank you to that. And I want to say that how much I respect and honor you and Amanda and every other woman and every other man who is now taking a stand and speaking on behalf of our mother and all of her creations. And with that, Betty, I turn this over to you now. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes.
perfectly.
Because I'm outside of the entrance to Alligator Alcatraz across the street. It gets kind of noisy. As you can see, there's a lot of bright light. I didn't have to set up a light. Normally it's really dark out here and quiet. So I want to thank you for allowing me time to speak. For those of you who don't know me or have met me, Betty Oola. I'm a grandmother. I'm of the Panther clan. I'm of the Miccosukee tribe of Indians of Florida. And I'm very honored that this platform was put together because Creator has been calling. The earth has been calling for us to be human beings again. And I want to thank the mamos for their letter because it embodies everything that is going on. And I also want to acknowledge that I carry one of the bags that was gifted to me by Mamo Menhaben a couple years ago. And he told me that I would be his representative here in Florida for the Indigenous people here. So I haven't forgotten that. So I thank you for the letter that was read. It was very touching to me. I hope it was very touching to everyone else on this live feed because we're all connected by nature, by creation. And as days gone by and years have gone by, we have lost so much out of touch, fell so much out of touch with the natural world around us that we've forgotten who we are, that we've forgotten how to be human beings, many of us. Even ourselves, the Indigenous, go astray, and we have to be reminded to come back to being a human being. And that's okay, as long as we make our way back. But as I see what's going on here in the environment of the Everglades, the kidneys of the world, and what is going on here, and the lack of humanity and compassion for what's going on, and the lack of understanding of what's going on, and how it's all interwoven together, and how we treat each other and how we treat the environment. And we just take. We keep taking from Mother Earth. We keep using Mother Earth. We keep abusing Mother Earth and not giving anything back and not realizing what we're doing to her. And she feels it. I feel it right now because she shares her pain. If you have that connection, you feel it too. It hurts when she hurts. It's almost crippling sometimes to feel what she feels. And sometimes it's very sad that no one else has that connect. Not many other people have that connection to feel what that pain she's putting out there, and that request for help she's putting out there. Like that silent scream that hardly anyone hears. Just like the people in this detention center over here. There's screams that are silent because no one's allowed back there to hear it. And nobody, in the fear of talking about these issues, people don't want to look like the bad person, want to look like the heartless person, want to look like the wrong person. But we're the roots of the earth. How are we going to hold the earth together if we keep cutting down those trees? If we keep cutting down each other? How are we going to hold the earth together? You know, when I come out here and pray, I always ask Creator, how can I help you? Help me help you. Let me know how you need me to help you. I wish more people would ask when they pray, how can they help creation? How can they help Mother Earth? How can we get back to being a human being? How can we get back to the basics of what that connection is with the earth? You know, I used to come to this place to pray before all of this happened. Used to come here to gather herbs. Our people use this site for other ceremonial reasons. Now it's closed off to us and closed off to other people. And I still feel the anxiety of the trees to know what's going on. They wonder what their fate is. They see all this coming and going. They're absorbing all this fear and all this anguish and all this pain. The water's absorbing it. It's rippling out. And I feel it. Just like wherever else this happens in the world, people who are connected feel it. So when I pray, and I've been praying out here for this place every day, sometimes alone, sometimes late at night. Like I'm the only one here right now, except for the state trooper across the road. And I pray for humanity. We need to put up ceremony to remind ourselves who we are, to pray and ask for that guidance. Because in the beginning, we all had those teachings of how to care for creation in the part of Mother Earth that we were. But through time, we've strayed from taking care of the land. And we started looking to other things that had nothing to do with taking care of creation. And after so many years of that, here we are. We're at a pivotal point in time where Mother Earth is going to make a decision with Creator. We have a saying, my people. The world that you know today will not be the world that you know tomorrow, but that of your ancestors. And I think about that a lot. We also have a prophecy. The Third World War will be on the United States continent. And as a kid, I always wondered, what was that world war going to look like? Because it was going to happen on US soil, is our prophecy. And I used to have dreams about the Nazis as a kid. German tanks rolling through the cypress swamps, cannon fire, people crying out, gunfire. I used to have nightmares about that as a kid. And getting older, I was like, you know, the Nazis, the Germans are no longer here in that time. I used to, wonder, why did I dream about that as a kid all the time? And I used to dream about alligators a lot as a kid. I always had alligators in my dream. And I used to wonder, why was I always dreaming about alligators? But as an adult, I have a connection to alligators, an affinity for them. And today, when I see everything going on, I'm starting to realize why I had dreams of those soldiers that were dressed like German soldiers running around in the swamps of the Everglades with their tanks. And I sit across here looking at that sign, Alligator Alcatraz. And I'm starting to see the signs that it didn't really mean we were going to have actual Germans here. Those dreams were showing me that we were going to have a movement towards what happened in that country here. And that Third World War, I realize now, is a spiritual war in all of us, because we strayed so far from Creator. I always wondered what that war was going to be, that Third World War. And now I realize that that war is going to be a fight with our own spirituality and our connection to Creator and those around us as human beings. Because if we continue to lose our connection, we're going to do things that are going to be more atrocious to the earth and to each other. So as I pray with Creator, how can I help him slow that down? How can I help those that I can? Because I know I can't help everybody. I can't save everybody, but I know I can save those that I can. So that whatever that tomorrow is, some of our generations will be there. How can more of us become human beings again, so that we can have more days and more opportunity for that next generation to have their opportunity to be human beings? Are we just going to keep going at a rapid pace that there isn't a tomorrow for our future generations? Already, some individuals are deciding to wipe out generations of people, wipe out their future generations. That's not what we were put here for. We were put here to take care of the earth, to foster life, not to take it. We were put here to take care of the water, the air, the trees, for all of us, not just for a certain few. Look at the rainbow. There are so many colors in the rainbow that make it beautiful. Look at the earth. There are so many colors of the earth that hold the earth together. So many different textures and shapes, and that hold the earth together. It takes all that complexity and all that beauty to keep the earth together. Who are we if Creator would not forsake his creation? Then who are we? Who am I? Who are you that can make that decision to forsake creation? Who gave us that authority? Who gave us that power? No one. And I'm not a follower of the Bible. I know some people think, that's blasphemy. But our spirituality doesn't have to be between the pages of a book. Our spirituality and our connection to creation is more than the pages of a book. It's in those trees. It's in those rocks. It's in that water. It's in that air. It's in us, if we seek to find it and connect. So how can we become human beings again? God didn't create these political systems. That's man-made. God didn't create all these rules that are in place right now. Those are man-made. My people, we say we have to follow Creator's laws. Creator's laws never change. Sometimes we stray from that path or from that laws, but we find our way back. That we have to walk the path that Creator gave us. Not the path that man created, because he's always changes his mind to fit mankind's needs. But Creator's law is about life, about fostering that love for one another and for life and everything in the universe. And you might think that what I'm saying doesn't make sense. But take the time to reflect. Go out into nature. Nature will heal you. That's where our plant medicines are. That's where our sound vibrations are that are soothing, that can clear your mind. Step away from the life of the dead cities, those dead jobs, those dead piece of paper, that dead piece of paper with dead people's pictures on it that we call money. Step away once in a while from that death and go to the living where nature is. Go feel her, listen. Just go out there and just listen with your mind and your heart to bring that connection, to really know what life is about in this creation and what our connection is in the universe and how we have to take care of all of that. We need to be human beings again. Otherwise, the earth is going to make a decision that we're not going to be happy with. And we're going to realize when it's too late that we had an opportunity to turn this around. And we failed. We have a choice to make. Do we want to win when Mother Earth wins? Or do we want to lose when she wins? I'm getting a little emotional here. And that's why I pray for individuals who need a lot of prayer. Sometimes we have trucks come out of there, cars out of there, spinning their tires, trying to be very aggressive. That's why I pray for those individuals to become human beings again. Were there any questions?
There's a lot of love here. A lot of hugs and love and agreeing, and you can see the many messages when you go back and visit. There's just some beautiful messages from the people that get it and understand. A lot of your followers here, Betty, and it's beautiful. Some really profound messages. I'm getting messages on my phone, like who are these women? And it's time to listen, right? It's time for the people to listen, and you're definitely capturing the attention, and it's time. So this question came out. This will be every Monday for those of you who are signing in or have signed in or want to share the messages with the people. We'll be here with different speakers, and Grandma Susan, you can speak to that right now just to kind of close up our circle this evening. I'm very grateful to be included in this beautiful circle, to be able to stand here and offer my gifts, and the team of Grandmother's Voice, who are all volunteers, we're all Earthwalkers. We are the next generation. and the grandmas came to us and told us that we need to really start to engage the next generation and teach them, show them, guide them to the work that needs to continue. And so I'm grateful to have sat here and received the words, the love, the song, the medicine, and to sit and see these beautiful messages are beautiful. It's just, I'm in a lot of gratitude right now. I'll be sharing some information as Susan's talking, how to support grandmother Amanda and grandma Betty in the work that they're doing. They have organizations that, they stand with and who stand with them as well. So go ahead, Susan.
Thank you, Jody. I'm going to begin with you, Betty. I want to say thank you as we sat here, the three of us women on this couch, listening to your words, a wave of respect and love and power washed over all three of us. We all felt it because you truly spoke from the heart of the mother, with the heart of the mother, bringing through you the things that we need to remember about who we are and why we're here. And Amanda, to bring down the message from the Sierra Nevada de Santa Marta, from those mamos who are up there, our elder brothers at the heart of the world, for you to bring that message, that letter from them. I'm not going to close anything tonight because I will never close these calls, because just like the drum, when you beat it once, that sound never stops. It circles the earth over and over and over. It will never end. And it's the same thing with your words, the things that you shared, because they didn't come from you, they came through you. You are the hollow bones, the grandmothers who are speaking with the voices of the ancestors and from the heart of the mother. And I'm just so absolutely in awe and grateful to have been able to sit here with my sisters and listen to you. So we're not closing, but Pookie has a song that she's going to share now, and this we will continue to take with us. And I encourage everyone, as you lay in bed at night, as you wake up in the morning, be thankful for everything that's there, because we are the ones that will carry that love outward into the world. So, Pookie, are you ready?
Just about.
I'm gonna use grandmother.
You can turn it around. You can just sit there just like that. I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. I said I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. Looking around the world, and what do I see? So many things in a state of need, pain and suffering all around me. I won't stand by and just let this be, 'cause I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. Everywhere, everyone wants to be free. Some look around and say, it's not me. How can they close their eyes and not see? It all comes down to me, because I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. I'm reliable, accountable, dependable, invincible. I'm capable, incredible, responsible. I'm reliable, accountable, dependable, invincible. I'm capable, incredible, responsible. 'Cause I am responsible. I am responsible. I am responsible to leave the world a better place. One more time. to leave the world a better place. To leave the world a better place. Grandmothers, what are we gonna do? We're gonna leave the world a better place.
Okay, everybody. See you in a week. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Aliana,
Noah.
may God bless your work and all that you do. Aho.